Typically, when animating inside of Adobe After Effects, you're not doing frame-by-frame animations. What you're doing is controlling an elaborate puppet of your character. That's how this program differs from Flash and Sony Vegas. So here's how to do it. Before you start animating in Adobe, you're going to want to get the pieces of your character. All the pieces that you need are the arm, the body, and the head. To get this, explode your character inside of Maplestory. You're also going to want to get a full image of your character. This will be used to aid you inside of After Effects. So now you're on the step of character building. The step isn't necessarily hard, but more tedious. First off, open up a new composition. You can set the width and height to anything you want. I usually keep it at a width of 1980 by 1080. Now import your pieces into the project window and then put them in the timeline. At this point, you're going to want to hit S on your keyboard to bring up the scale. You're going to want to scale them up to just underneath the border. Before you build your character, you're going to want to rearrange the pieces in the timeline. The way it's set up is arm above the head above the body, and body above the reference. At this point, just piece your character together. Before you start masking, you're going to want to move the anchor points to the head and the arm. To do so, you're going to be using the pan behind tool. Now on your character, you're able to move the anchor points. All you need to do now is move the arm's anchor point to the shoulder and the head's anchor point to the neck. Now you can get onto masking. At this point, you're going to want to separate the legs from the torso. You'll be doing this by masking. All you need to do is take the pen tool and draw around the torso. Be sure to cut off the other hand so that you can replace it with the other arm. You'll see what I mean by this later. Now at this point, you're going to want to duplicate the layer. You can do so by hitting Ctrl D or copy and paste. This new layer will be the legs to your character. Now, select the duplicated layer in the timeline and hit M on your keyboard. Now, delete the mask that's in there. And you're going to want to redo what you did with the torso, but with the legs. At this point, your character is fully cut up, and you are free to delete the reference layer that you put in. Now you'll notice that your character doesn't have a second arm. What you're going to want to do is duplicate the previous arm and then put it underneath the body. Then just move it to the side. And skadoosh! There you go! Second arm! That's cool! So most of you may know, but Adobe After Effects is able to do parenting. So in this stage, we're going to want to parent everything to the torso, excluding the legs. Down in the timeline, what you're going to want to highlight is the arms and the head. Then, over to the right, take this little pick whip swirl thing and link it to the body. Last step, what you're going to want to do is just move the anchor point to the torso near the crotch area so that it pivots properly. And now you'll see that with everything connected, you're able to freely rotate your body with everything still being connected. I should also mention, if you have a character with pointy shoulders on their arm, how to fix this is to use the masking tool to just mask around it. And then you invert it inside of the timeline. And be a skadoosh. There you go. No more pointy elbow.
I got my swagger back. Yes, I got my swagger back.
I walk around